Brackets. This is Miss Woody, and we're back with another Wellness Wednesday. This week we're going to talk about positive thinking and positive self-talk. So how you think about yourself and the world in general, and how you talk to yourself. I'm going to use the word practice a lot when we're talking about positive thinking and positive self-talk, because this is really a skill that you can learn, and it's something that is not always easy to do. So it's something that you're going to have to continually practice so that you can make it something that happens in your everyday life. Now, I want you to think about a few questions. I want you to think about how you talk to yourself. What kinds of thoughts are constantly running through your mind on a daily basis? Do you put yourself down, or are you kind to yourself? I want you to just take a moment and think about that. Did you know that the way that you think and talk about yourself can have effects in both your physical health and your mental health? I'm going to tell you a few of those things right now. Some of the physical benefits of positive thinking and self-talk are that it strengthens your immune system, can lower your blood pressure, better stress management, decreased risk of heart attack, increased pain tolerance, and better overall health. It can also help you mentally and emotionally by increasing creativity, better problem-solving skills, clearer thinking, better mood, and increased coping skills. It can also decrease depression. Those are some pretty amazing benefits for something that is completely free and that you can teach yourself to do. Now let's think about some strategies that you can use to practice these things in your own life. And let's start with positive thinking. Some ways that you can practice positive thinking are just smile more. Have you ever heard the phrase, fake it till you make it? Sometimes just smiling can increase your happiness. You can reframe the situation. If there's a traffic jam and you're stuck in traffic, you can think of that as more time to listen to a podcast or an album that you like. Keep a gratitude journal. This forces you to find the positives in your everyday life. You can create a vision board. This is a way where you can plan for the amazing things that you see in your future. And it's been proven that when you look at those things into the future, you're more likely to actually accomplish those things. Identify your strengths and then find ways to use them. You can create a personal mantra. We've already talked about mantras in earlier Wellness Wednesday, so check that out if you haven't. You can also post positive affirmations, and these are just positive statements, and then put them where you can see them often, like on a mirror, on the refrigerator, things like, I am enough and I matter, I can change the world. Recognize your successes. Don't minimize them, even the small ones. And then take in uplifting information. Watch funny videos. Share silly memes with your friends. Turn off the news or take a break from social media if you need to. And just to note, practicing positive thinking and positive self-talk does not mean ignoring bad things that happen. You can, and you should, feel sadness sometimes, and anger and frustration. Complex emotions are what make us human, and we would never really truly feel joy if we never felt sadness. Practicing positive thinking just helps us put those bad things and those bad feelings into perspective, and for us to know that those things are temporary and that we can overcome them. Now we're going to talk to a few people who are going to tell you how they use positive thinking and positive self-talk in their own lives and how that's impacted them. Join us. Good afternoon, Ms. Jones-Allen. Thank you so much for joining us for this week's Wellness Wednesday. We have a couple of questions for you. The first one is, how do you stay positive when so many things in the world seem to be negative right now?
Well, for me, it's kind of easy to think about the things that I'm thankful for. And I've also learned, and this is like from Will Smith a couple of years ago, where he said that you can't depend on other people to bring you happiness. You have to make yourself happy. And so if you kind of get that into your mindset, then you'll realize that whatever's going on around you, that should not affect you, as long as you keep positive.
That is an awesome perspective. One more quick question for you. How do you keep your thoughts about yourself positive? How do you speak kindly to yourself?
Well, I always try to give myself the benefit of the doubt, that I know that I'm trying to live my life according, and I know not everyone is Christian, but I am. I try to live my life according to my faith, and I feel like, I'm not looking for, I can't really expect people to treat me like how I would treat them. So if I just go out into the world and treat people like, good, and not expect for that to be given back to me, then you don't get you don't get disheartened, or you don't get put down because you're like, oh man, I thought they were gonna treat me nice because I'm nice to them. So I guess you just have to go in the world and just be positive and not really expect everyone to have the same positivity, the same mindset as you.
That is another really great perspective, and a really good tool to use when you're positive thinking is your faith and your values. Any last words to say to students as they enter the next few weeks with exams?
Well, I feel like everyone has been truly doing their best with the circumstances. And like I tell my students, as long as you are trying, and as long as you are, staying positive and just, doing something, then I think it'll work out for you. You don't have to put yourself down.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us.
You're welcome.
Hey Rockets, I want to talk to you a little bit about positive self-talk and how some strategies that I use when I think about that. So when I think about positive self-talk, it really is about how I deal with situations in a very positive manner, no matter how difficult the situation is. For me, I think that now kind of where I am is become more natural than what it was some time ago for me. But I just want you to think about some of the strategies that I might use, and then how you can maybe adapt some of those to fit you. And I don't think there's a one size fits all about different strategies that you can utilize with positive self-talk, but you really got to figure out what works for you. So for me, when I think about it, every day I live about 30 minutes away. So for me, it is a perfect time for me to, in a car ride. Most of the time I don't have the music on my phone. There's no service between kind of my house and here anyway. So I'm not really talking on the phone. So it is an awesome time for me to really sit and reflect on my day, my situations, the obstacles that I might face on that particular day or that are coming up, and allow me just to get a positive mindset around those things. And so sometimes things that might come through my head are I've never done that before. So when things like that come up, I have to look at it in a different way. And I say, well, that's something that I can learn from. How can I learn from that? Or I might say, oh my goodness, that is so complicated. And I really have to look at it and say, okay, how can I tackle it? Where do I start? How can I make that work? Or sometimes you look at something and you say, there's just no way in the world that is going to work. And I really have to reflect and really ask myself, how can I make it work? Don't go to the negative all the time. And so I think that those things are just ways that I kind of begin to reflect on some of my situations. The second thing I'll say is that I also try to surround myself with very positive people, and that helps me a lot. I don't need people around me that are going to bring me down, that complain all the time, that only see the negative. So, when those situations happen, I'm typically one of them people that are going to say, hey, how are you? And I'm going to keep it moving because I just really don't like to associate with the negativity. It doesn't do anything. It's very draining to me. So for me, I have to be around people that are uplifting, that are positive, that are always trying to figure out how can we make things happen at the end of the day. So that's really important to me. The other thing that I'll say is that, I found this strategy. I'll give you an example. It doesn't really work for me necessarily, but my wife, it does. And so if you were to go in my house sometimes or a mirror in the bathroom, you will see little messages on the mirror. For her, that works. And, she sees these little messages that just encourage her when she gets up in the morning to make it a great day. And so those messages just vary from time to time. Sometimes I'll walk in there and I'll see a new message. And then sometimes I'll see a squiggly on one. I'm not really sure what it means to her, but I realize that it helps her just kind of process through the day and get through that day, make it an extremely positive day and a positive outlook. So I think that helps her a lot. So like I say, there are a lot of strategies that you can utilize with positive self-talk. You really have to figure out what works for you. But I will tell you that I ask that you trust me on that having kind of a positive demeanor and the positive self-talk really does help you, your physical well-being, your emotional well-being. Not only that, it helps the people around you. People want to be around you when you have that positivity or that positive outlook about different situations. So I say to you, I challenge you as you go into exam week and into next semester to find some of those positive self-talk strategies that actually work, that will work for you. And it's trial and error. So I say pick one. You're probably going to learn a lot about different strategies that you can utilize through this Wednesday, but pick one of them, try it. You may say, oh, that doesn't work. Don't give up. Just find another one. I guarantee you that you will find a strategy or strategies that will work for you as you just try to implement positive self-talk. So Rockets, have a great exam period, a great next semester. As always, if you ever need us, let us know, but continue to do the impossible.
Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed those perspectives. Now, practicing positive self-talk and positive thinking is not easy, and a lot of times we default to the negative. So if you find yourself just focusing on the negative, then ask yourself some of these questions. Is this thought helpful? What is a more healthy thought? Is there another way of looking at this situation? What would I tell a friend in this situation? Often the things that we think about ourselves are not the things that we would think about our friends if they were experiencing the same thing. Ask yourself, will this matter in 1 week or 1 month or even 1 year? What evidence do I have that what I'm thinking is really true? What is the evidence against this thought? And finally, and most important, is there anything I can do about this right now? If the answer to that question is yes, you can take appropriate action. But if the answer is no, accept it and just move on. We hope you've learned a lot today about how to speak more kindly to yourself and think more positively. Think about those thoughts that are constantly running through your head as a radio station. And when those thoughts start to become negative, use the tools that you've learned today and change the station. We want to thank you as always for tuning in to Wellness Wednesday. If you have ideas about positive thinking and positive self-talk that you use in your life, share those down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you after Christmas. Have a very Merry Christmas.